Yo, Tuesday, April 11th. Appreciate everybody for joining me. Everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube. I'm not on Instagram Live right now. It looks kind of weird. It comes out kind of weird, to be honest. But I'm here. Politics on the corner. Real Rap Cain. Y'all seen the topic. We gonna go way crazy on this tonight. Disclaimer.
Wait. There you go.
If this your first time here, it's first time to the show, it ain't gonna go how you think it's gonna go. It's gonna be, you gotta leave your feelings at home. You know what I mean? You gotta leave your feelings at home. The truth can never be considered disrespect. So those are my disclaimers that I have to give off the back. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad y'all joining me. Hopefully we can continue pushing these conversations forward. That makes sense. That means something. Phil, what's up?
Hey. So we need to show some people some love, correct? Right?
Correct.
All right. So this thing here, I'll tell you how I used it. I finally used it. I sent it out. So what this is, it helps determine the negative particles in the room. So whether it's mold or any type of chemical, right, or something that's bad. So my son's room has mold in it, right? I wanted to see what it's like. So the instructions are really, really simple. So I just open it up, lift that tab up and put it somewhere in the room for 2 days. And you mark what time you do it. You mark what time it's done. You seal it back up, put it in the prepackaged label, and then you just mail it out. And then I guess I'll get the results when he gets it in.
Okay, that's simple enough.
Yeah, so I can't wait.
So you are the best promoter because you use the product.
Yeah, no, I'm a little worried to see what's actually going to come through, but it was very, very simple to do.
Well, I wouldn't be worried about that part. I'll be more worried about not the unknown versus I'm about to find the answer out. Like if you didn't have an avenue to find the answer out, I'd probably be more worried about that than actually finding the answer.
I appreciate them. Advanced chemical, what does that say?
Sensors.
Yeah, it's too small on my screen, but
that's cool. Advanced chemical sensors. Call the number on the screen. Email. Go to the website if you need additional information.
Correct.
But as you can see, they're official. We're gonna find out how official they really are when Phil get this
the results back.
This all red results back.
Right, it's to say you need to move.
Hopefully, they don't condemn your house, man.
Oh no. Well, all right, we got Jones Nelson.
Jones Nelson lawn service, commercial lawn service. Like I said, all 4 seasons. Well, it's no 4 seasons where I'm at. It's 2 seasons. But they can do the treatments part. They can cutting part. Any other long landscaping advice that you need. This is your company to go to. 386-868-8329. I'm gonna work with him on getting a website. I'm gonna work with him though.
Yeah, you definitely need a website in 2023.
Yeah, I'm gonna work with him. I'm gonna bring him to the 21st century.
Okay. Well, Jay, we haven't done this in a little bit.
What's that?
People who, they're angry at you. So I got some angry replies from YouTube this time. All right.
I don't know why people are so angry, but come on.
Well, no, you said it earlier. You said the truth. What did you say again about the truth?
People consider the truth as disrespect.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, yeah. So maybe that's
Bill's character. Do some push-ups.
Maybe that's what they feel. So this one is regarding your YouTube short for the left versus the right. They're all the same. And this is the comment from Sunny Paradise. They say, suppress the vote. Most minority cities in America have been Democratic cities for 30, 40 years. How did they get elected if the vote was suppressed?
This is what happens when you don't do basic fundamental things called listening, right? Listening is mental, hearing is mechanical. Don't let that go over your head. So what I actually said was that the Democrats in those cities that he's talking about prey on the vulnerable people there, the blue-collar workers, who are looking for the aid that Democrats promised them. The Republicans at the Senate level, governor level, presidential level, they try to suppress the votes from those areas because they know they're going to be overwhelmingly Democratic. They're not going to be in the favor of Republican voters. So what they try to do is make it harder for people from those areas to vote, i.e. Real ID, i.e. saying you can't do mail-in ballots. There's restrictions on mail-in ballots, knowing that some people can't get down to the voting polls. They're not able to. They don't have the transportation. They don't have the means to. Right? Especially your elderly folks who are not going to catch the bus in the city, how wild cities are today, to go to some voting poll. They more likely not going to do it if their health even permits them being able to do it. So that is just two quick examples of voter suppression, right? I told no lies there, but you know the irony part of it was?
What's that?
When you go on the YouTube one, right, the left versus the right, people in there like, man, I was with you. Until you start talking about the Republicans. There is not one Democratic person, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Facebook, whether it was Instagram, whether it was YouTube. It was not a Democrat on there that came and fought for Democrats saying I'm telling a lie. Only lie the Republicans said I told was when I was speaking about the Republican side. They never said I lied anything about Democrats taking advantage of people not fulfilling promises, yada. I got no pushback on that part. But the moment I said something about Republicans, gosh almighty, they went haywire. It's like, so damn, I told a half truth. So I'm right. You know what's crazy? You know how it is when you know somebody and they like, yo, that's my friend. That person is, that person's real. That person tell the truth, right? You tell the truth about everybody else. Then when you tell the truth about them, they like, oh no, you lying about me though. But you tell the truth about everybody else. But now when you talking about me, you lying. You don't know what you're talking about no more.
Oh man, that's narcissistic right there.
Right? It's the same. It's the same pot. Damn, you telling the truth about the Democrats. They ain't crap. They ain't worth nothing. They criminals. Yada. I told how the Republicans suppress votes and play the dirty game on the way they play the game dirty. And now I'm a liar. I'm dumber than dirt, I think somebody said. But you know what? I was talking to my man Ty, right? We was having a conversation. And I started smiling during the conversation because I forgot this analogy that Malcolm X had gave. And it was a very powerful analogy. And all I could do was smile while he was saying it because I was remembering that analogy, right? So he said, you got a fox and you got a wolf. You got the lamb in the middle, right? The wolf just going to eat the lamb, right? The wolf ain't going to play no games with him, just going to eat him. The fox is going to try to act like he's befriending the lamb, like he's there for the lamb, want the best for the lamb, right? But we know what the fox going to do. He going to eat the lamb as well. So the end result is the lamb in the middle, whether it's a fox or whether it's the lion, it is with the lamb dying, getting decapitated, and at the end of the day, both are bad options. And he was giving that analogy in regards to the Democrats and Republicans, saying this is the dirty political game that we live in the United States of America. And I know that analogy probably gonna piss people off again, even though he said that about 60 odd years ago. Right?
How dare him?
Right. But it was a dope analogy that honestly I forgot about. And I was like, he did say that. And it's so true. Even today, it's probably more true than ever. That's why I tell people, like, people look and say, oh, we got to get more engaged in politics. Yes, but at the same time, that can't be our crutch. Like, politics was much more needed then because of the status we was in, right? We needed policies and certain things to come through to remove certain roadblocks. So politics, policy and laws and amendments and all that was super important then. They're still important now to a degree, but not as important as they was then, I don't think. That's my personal opinion. We have way more power, way more control on our infrastructure with building us up, with controlling our own internal affairs more than ever. There's so much black wealth in this country today is insane. We just don't, we need to repurpose that black wealth instead of relying on a system that has historically been against us, no matter how you want to bring it back. Even with the guise of passing certain laws and bills, it looked like it was there to help us, but how much stuff was actually there to harm us? But don't know. That's just my 2 cents on that. But I just wanted to bring that up. I wanted to bring that analogy up because, like I said, that was a fire analogy that I forgot about.
Yeah, that was. All right. So there's been some news. I don't know if you use Cashapp. use Cashapp?
Yeah, I do. You know, goddamn well I use Cashapp.
So the founder of Cashapp, something happened to him in San Francisco. So if you haven't been privy to the news, here's a quick one.
Friends and family are confirming what many fear. The 43-year-old man San Francisco police found stabbed here on Main Street early Tuesday morning is well-known tech executive Bob Lee. The father of two was chief product officer at cryptocurrency startup MobileCoin. Before that, he worked with former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey at Square. Dorsey today called his death heartbreaking. Lee would later create the mobile payment service Cashapp.
Bob, someone that I just talked to a couple days.
All right, so skip that, but yeah.
No, that's cool. That was wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a video online. I mean, I don't know if people want to watch it, but there's actually a video where he's stumbling after he was stabbed. He's stumbling, trying to look for help. Right. So my question is, like, San Fran, you know, it's Silicon Valley, it's technology hub of the world, pretty much, right? So I'm pretty sure they surveillance cameras and technology is on another level out there. So my question is, why is the only video they could find when he was already attacked and he's stumbling, trying to find assistance? Where's the video of him being attacked, which I'm pretty sure is out there somewhere? It has to be. And then when you start looking at other things that come to light, like the federal government trying to get their own form of Cash App, and yeah, it looks like my man was taken out. I mean, like, he randomly got attacked in San Francisco.
Man.
Like, either it was some domestic levels quarrel, or but what was it, a robbery? They didn't say it was a robbery. So he just randomly got the stabby stab. Just randomly. You know what I'm saying?
You heard that, right?
Yeah, I heard that. You know, he just he randomly got the stabby stab.
Do you really, for real? Like, what was he at, like an ATM or something?
This is the point.
He wasn't using his Cash App?
He got the stabby stab while he was using his own Cash App. I don't think that happened. He would probably even use, them people don't even use Cash App. Man, cut it out. Only us as consumers dumb enough to tie that to our bank account. They not doing that. They know the vulnerabilities of it.
Question for you though: is the crime rate in San Francisco really bad? Because I heard San Francisco was like really, really nice. Like,
no, okay.
If you make $100,000, you're poor.
What? You dumb poor in San Fran with 100,000? Yeah. You got an efficiency apartment somewhere. But San Fran, like any other place, right? It has its pockets of where it could get kind of, you know, shady and a little treacherous at. Yeah. You know, it's still a major city. Still got to respect that part. And they still got they element out there, how they move around outside on the streets. So, just not, you know, guys like that is safe, man. I don't care what nobody say. Like, guys like that, you don't hear about Bill Gates or Zuckerberg. You don't hear about none of them getting the stabby stab. So this guy makes a Cash App, turns into $1 billion company, right? He left Square. He got Square popping, right? He left them to go make Cash App, made that $1 billion company. Now, all of a sudden, the federal government went Fed Cash or something it's called, something like that. Now, all of a sudden, he get the stabby stab randomly in San Francisco, randomly. Yeah, that's what happened. What's next?
Sorry.
No, go ahead. I get it.
All right. Where do you want to go here? Because you want the Harvard?
Yeah, let's go to Harvard real quick.
All right. Here we go. Can you see that on the screen?
Yeah, 4 Harvard students held at gunpoint by campus police in swatting attack. Right. For those out there that don't know what swatting is where a call is made to 911, pretty much saying someone is a hostage, someone's being held at gunpoint, somebody's being held against their will. So what's that going to activate? It's a barricade situation. It's a hostage situation. It's going to activate the SWAT unit of the police department. So they're making calls to whatever police department they're in randomly. Oh yeah, this address right here. They're holding somebody hostage. I hear somebody screaming. They're going to dispatch SWAT to the area. SWAT going to kick in the door to find out it was a hoax. So either they gonna go to your door, they gonna bang on it real hard, and somebody gonna open the door, and you're gonna have a bunch of rifles pointing at you, or they just gonna kick the door off the hinges, and then you gonna get thrown on the floor with a firearm to your back, and then explain like, I don't know what's going on here, it's a lie. So there has been cases where some people have been arrested for it. They started off doing it to celebrities out in Cali, out in LA. That's where like the first time I ever seen this. It's kind of old. It's probably like 4 or 5 years old that people, I don't know what brainiac thought this was a good idea. I think in one case, I think there's a special actually on Netflix about this, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody actually got killed.
Yeah, so I know what you're talking about. All right, so popular gamers, streamers, gamers, it's happened live on stream. So
Correct.
That's what you're talking about. So what actually happened was somebody was playing a game who was really popular, and someone was swatting them. I guess some of their personal information got leaked, maybe from a piece of mail or something, and they got called in, and then on camera you can see the SWAT team come in, and they end up shooting the person.
Correct.
So terrible.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And they're still doing it. It kind of has slowed down after the gamer dude you talking about. I guess he was super popular. He was the best at it.
This comment's a little cut off, but it says same thing that happened to the brother that created the engine that could run on water. He was killed, and a suspect was as well. So he's talking about that supermarket shooting. I think it was in Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo?
Yeah. So he was in there.
That's who got killed doing that?
Yep. The guy that built that car that ran on water, black guy. Yeah. He was killed at that.
Hey,
that
Ryan,
shooting.
I never heard, I didn't hear that guy was a part of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
Wow. So it was a hit, G. And they took a bunch of people. So the other people was collateral damage, unfortunately.
Oh, you really think so?
That's the way it go. So you kill a bunch of other people to hide the fact you want to kill one person? That's normal.
Damn, that's cold. Hey, you said it's normal.
That's normal. The American government been mastered that. They've been doing that forever.
Good Lord.
Oh, man, y'all got to catch up out here, man. Y'all not paying attention. Stop sleeping with your eyes open, man. I said that last week. They've been doing that forever.
And Ronald said, yep, that's him. Yep.
Yeah, they don't kill 10, 15, 20, 30 people just to kill one person. That's been happening. Damn. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yep, I remember when I heard that too.
How come they didn't blow that story up, make it all super popular or whatever?
I mean, you know that answer, right?
Yeah, I know that answer. You know, I'm in one of them moods, so, you know.
Hey, man,
that's a rhetorical question.
This is the only show I can do that with.
No, it was just a rhetorical question, you know. Yeah. I think we all out there know the answer to that question. Let's go to that next one real quick. I want to
All right, this is with the Ashley Reese situation here.
Angel
Reese.
I
was Ashley Angel Reese, sorry. All right.
So this is what I've been battling in my comments, right, all week since I talked about this last week. Angel Reese has no class. Caitlin Clark was raised right. Mm-hmm. So I've been literally like, especially on TikTok. You gotta go to I'm telling you, my TikTok is crazy.
At Real Rap Cain, right?
Yes, same. My TikTok is crazy. That's why I get all the smoke at. So I was told, yeah. I know why. So they back and forth in my comments, pretty much saying, that there's one guy start off by saying, I want to make sure I get this right. He started off by saying that Angel Reese has no class and that Caitlin handled it better. Obviously, she had a PR class. So I was so I ain't the smartest guy in the world. Y'all know I don't walk around flaunting no intellectual prowess and nothing like that. Like I got a chip on my shoulder, right? But I do 1 + 1 exceptionally well, right? So when he said clearly she handled that situation better, clearly she passed her PR class, and I was like, so what does PR, public relations, I don't want to talk with nobody here. I'm not trying to say nobody slow, but I want to make sure we all in the same, we tracking the same. He said, I said, what does PR have to do with what goes on the basketball court? I said, we talking pregame or postgame or If you're interviewing at the combine for a WNBA team, that's when PR class is gonna come in handy, right? Teach you how to speak and speak well, articulate yourself better, all that good fancy stuff, right? But what in the God's green earth do a PR class have to do with your basketball skills?
Right.
What does PR have to do with taunting that's been around since the conception of sports? So this is the part where I got baffled at. Then clearly, I mean, I want to remember like last week, I clearly was like, yo, I'm not even going to try. This ain't even got nothing to do with Caitlyn. Because Caitlyn came out and she doesn't understand it either from what I've read. She's looking like Angel don't deserve this backlash. Men talk trash all the time on the basketball court or in sports. We can't talk trash? Like that's normal rec, right? So I'm looking like I don't seem way worse. Get way less attention. For a while, it's taunting or whatever you said. Like, people don't say some crazy stuff. You got an issue with her doing this. You can't see me. That's what that means. You can't see me, right? So she walked around and followed around and said, you can't see me. And now she's like, what dude said? Scum of all sports.
Yep. Classless.
Right. So she got all this vitriol level verbiage directed towards her for something that has been around since the conception of sports.
It's a part of the game.
Right? It's called, now you want to say she's unsportsmanlike or she has bad gamesmanship or she's a poor winner or whatever the case. I can go for that stuff a little easier, right? But to say she the scum of all sports or she's like, oh, you're going too far. Like I said, you're talking about dudes that's in their 60s. To me, she's a kid. I don't care. I was going back and forth with that as well. She's a kid. If she was in the WNBA or something, okay, whatever. If it was a dude in the NBA, okay, whatever.
Wouldn't even been news.
You know, it wouldn't have been news. This is the part that's baffling, and I really don't understand it, right? But yet, you get a dude that do. Go ahead, Phil, bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
You get a dude that do this, right? You get a dude that he's getting fired from his bank job. He bring a rifle into work and decide he want to kill and shoot a bunch of people because he getting his boot smoked. But where in this headline is there anything derogatory towards this dude?
Mm-hmm.
He's all intents and purposes a golden boy, according to what I'm reading, right?
Yep.
Like, even when you watch the news, right? The only time it got real was when the police chief of Louisville was doing a press conference, and she was like, only time I'm gonna say his name is this time right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, which I get. She like, I can't even bring myself to say his name. But any other national media, they run their bio, and they pretty much bigging this kid up. Like, man, MJ, Kobe, KD, you absolutely right, Ron. But
I love how they gave him like varsity star.
No, this is what I'm saying. Like,
their verbiage is completely different than if it was the other way around.
No, I'm just saying, even with Angel, right? She's in college. She ain't shot nobody. She ain't killed nobody. She ain't punched nobody. She ain't spit on nobody. She did nothing physical or, you know what I'm saying? And the label with her is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy right here, he go in there, shoot, he killed 3 old people. He shoot 2 cops. One is in critical condition still. He graduated police academy March 31st. He ain't been on the streets 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Shot in the head. And this is the way y'all label this guy. But when it comes to us, when it comes to black folk, I don't care what y'all say. This is truth. When it comes to black folk, first thing y'all gonna do is try to find out criminal record, how 20 years ago, we was arrested for shoplifting. Not even no violent crime. Or 5th grade, we cut class. Or you can see this behavior coming from him to kill somebody. He cut class in 5th grade. This is the point. Like, how come it's so different? How come the narrative is painted so differently? Like, these last 2 people that decided they want to go take rifles in the places they shouldn't have them and kill people, the way y'all tried to paint these people is crazy to me. The first one, LBGTQ, That became more of the topic than her killing a bunch of people, killing a bunch of kids and faculty. This one right here, him being a varsity hoop star and whatever he graduated from, and Golden Boy type biography y'all gave out. It don't make no sense. He's a scum. Now that's scum. That's scum. That's how you identify scum. Somebody that takes a rifle into a bank because he getting fired, decide I'm mad at everybody in here and I'm going to kill anything I can kill before I get killed or take my own life or whatever happened to him. But y'all don't label this as scum. Maybe I got the game wrong, which is a very good possibility. Phil, let's get into the main topic, bro.
Oh, man. I want to show you a video.
Hold on, we're going to wait on the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going to wait. This week, main topic. Arming teachers, good or bad idea? Let me tell y'all the irony of this topic, right? So, Phil, I sent you this on Thursday, right? I told you this is a topic we're going to have this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So about 9:30 that night, right? About 9:30 that night. Oh, Josh, we're going to go. Matter of fact, keep the number up. If anybody want to call to give they feedback on this or get their opinion on this, feel free to call in. Don't hesitate. I'm not going to do nothing bad to you. All right? I heard a couple people I don't talk to personally say they a little scared to call in. You don't got to be scared to call in now. I ain't going to trash you. Not that bad anyway. So I'm it's like 9:30, 9:40 at night. I'm watching TV. My phone ring. Only one person typically called my phone that night, that late. So he didn't call my phone. It was somebody called my phone. I was like, Willie, what Willie want, right? So I pick up the phone. Willie like, hey, I need to talk to my brother. I know I ain't supposed to bother you right now, but hey, Willie, what you want, man? Cut it out. So I go outside so we can have a conversation. And he asked me the question. He said, listen, I just came home and I was having a conversation. He was mad. Willie, you was mad. You was irritated when you called me. And he asked me about this topic. He said, should teachers have guns in school, right? So he told me his perspective, which he believed that teachers should have a level of defense. They should be armed. They should have a chance to defend themselves and their students. A fair chance. Without relying upon emergency personnel to arrive on scene and protect them and save them and neutralize the intruder or whatever the case is, right? So it's about an hour-long conversation. And I'm walking him systematically through why everybody knows this is a bad idea. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. We ain't going to spend all night trying to figure out what is a good idea or bad idea, right? And it's a bad idea on so many different fronts, right? When the negative outweigh the positive, it's so much more that can go wrong, right? Let's just start with the basics of you're introducing a firearm into a school environment. An additional firearm, because most schools today they got resource officers, which are police that's stationed at the school. Depending on the school, is 1 or 2, and that's their job, is to patrol the school and ensure the security of all people involved, from the faculty to the children, right? So to me, when you introduce an additional firearm, especially by people that are not really trained to handle firearms, right? Now, granted, you have some ex-military, you have some ex-police officers that are teachers, right? But they're a super minority. Let's be all we real with it. There's not a bunch of them running around. So the first question I had was, where would a teacher keep the firearm at? Now, I've been scouring, watching videos after videos. I seen one teacher, He had it in his boot. I meant to send this video to you, Phil.
His
I
boot?
meant to. He had like cowboy boots on, right?
Okay.
So he's being interviewed. He's sitting down, and they asking him, do you have your firearm? I think he was like a National Guard guy. Yeah, B, Army guy. Y'all weird. He he was a National Guard guy. I think he's been a National Guard like 6 years or something like that. Right. So he said the school approached him about arming himself and, being a measure of defense in the case of an active shooter inside the building. He agreed to it. So he's getting interviewed, and a personal interview him asked him, so do you have a firearm on your person? He said yes. So they're looking like, so where do you have it at? He had these cowboy boots on, right? He literally had to lift his leg up. Hey, Phil, shoot down. So I'm trying to give an example.
Oh, hang on. Let me get this. It's about as far as I can go here.
No worries. So he had his
There you go. That's about as far as I go.
It's fine. He had his foot right out, and he's reaching down in his boot trying to find his gun. Like he's trying to unlock it and take the strap off it and all this other weird stuff, right? And I'm looking like, boy, you sure taking a long time.
Too late.
Boy, you sure taking a long time to get this weapon out, right? And mind you, the weapon was in his boot unloaded, right? Right. He never said when the ammunition was at, which I'm pretty sure he's not going to have the ammunition on this person. He probably got to go in the drawer. He got to go in the lockbox. He got to go somewhere to get the ammunition, right? I'm like, there's too many steps to this process. So the first thing I said to Willie was, Willie, one, they're not conditioned nor trained to be in combat in a moment's notice. They're not trained for that. They go to, undergrad school, then they go to grad school, then they go to the classroom. Nowhere in there is their firearms training, unless they do it on the side. And that's what they're doing as a hobby, right? There's no official part of the curriculum with becoming a teacher that says you need firearm training.
This one's cut off, though.
That's it, yeah. Go ahead, read it.
In my opinion, that's not their job. They're there to educate, not be security. I get where they're coming from, but it's a very bad idea.
Yeah. So definitely. So when you so like I was saying, they're not even in the proper frame of mind to even go down this rabbit hole, right? It's not something you can cut on and cut off. You can't go from 6x6 to now I gotta shoot this person, right? I hear gunshots, right? It's so much more to this I'm gonna cover from a psychological standpoint and a training standpoint. But that's just surface level bad idea. Just on the surface level, why it's a bad idea, right? The sheer psychological factors, like I think people watch too many movies, and I say this in real life to people. People got all these hypothetical movements they're going to make, and I'm like, you're doing too much. It's not a movie. It happens way faster than that. You're not going to have time to say, well, I got my bag right here with my firearm in it. You're not going to have time to reach in that bag. Because your first inclination, one, is to take cover. Find out what the threat is, take cover. That's going to be that's your first natural movement. Simultaneously, you tell me you reaching in the bag and trying to find a weapon, fumbling with all the chaos. That's not how I go, right? Let alone somebody is not even trained for that. Like I said, you're in a school environment. You're in a teaching environment. You're focused on the students. Next thing you hear is bang, 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 bang. You're going to freeze. If this is your first time really hearing gunshots, especially in the building, I don't think people understand how loud that is. You're in the building. It's going to sound like you're in Beirut. I promise you. You're already going to become disoriented, off the muscle. It's going to happen. Next thing you're going to do is look at the students. They're going to look at you like, yes, that's gunshots. You know what I'm saying? The students are going to confirm for you, yes, that's gunshots. More likely, the way that the average weapon will be stored, right? I seen a couple clips where some people had it on a person, side holsters or whatever the case may be, right? If you're in the classroom, I seriously doubt you're going to have a weapon and holstered. It's going to be super downgraded if it is. The magazine is going to be somewhere else, right? I'm going to get to that in a second, Reeves. The magazine is going to be somewhere else. So in the midst of the chaos, you got to pull your weapon out. You got to charge the weapon. and you got to find a target, right? Now, are these teachers asked to go outside their classroom, or they asked to barricade the doors, or whatever the case may be, right? Now, if they're asked to go find who's shooting, now they combat teachers. Now it's no longer a school zone, it's a battleground. So now what happens to those first responders that are responding to the scene, right? I seen one clip where a principal, I think it was a superintendent of the school district or somebody, he was saying how his faculty and law enforcement train frequently together, right? And that will prevent a first responder from shooting a teacher by accident. That was the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. And this is why it's dumb. When those teachers grab that firearm and they're in the hallways with a gun, and the first responder, well, I'm telling you, they're gonna be disoriented. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of chaos. When those first responders are giving orders, they may not even be able to hear the first responder clearly. They still gonna have their firearm up. First responder gonna be like, put your weapon down. They might not hear the first responder say that, which may lead to the first responder discharging that weapon. You understand what I'm saying? That teacher, right? Because I'm gonna tell you, like I said, it happens so quick. That first responder, they have to look. They're searching for a person with a weapon. They have to identify this person as friend or foe. Stupid quick. You don't get. It's not a movie. You don't get a pause button to say, "Oh, I think that's the gym teacher." all they're gonna see is a weapon. All they're going to realize is that person has a weapon. I'm giving an order for them to put the weapon down. They not putting the weapon down because of the midst of chaos. They probably can't hear them. They disoriented. Bang, 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 bang. It's going to happen. It's called the fog of war. It happens all the time with trained military. It happens all the time. So you mean to tell me it's not going to happen amongst local police and a teacher? That makes zero sense. There's zero logic behind it. No, it's going to happen. Friendly fire happens. What's going to happen when that teacher is encountering that undercover cop that's in plain clothes who breached the building through a different entrance? And once again, like I said, they gotta be able to identify a friend or foe in microseconds. Like they don't get all day to figure that out. Because that person who's running around shooting up the school, that person in their mind, I'm the only person in here with a gun. So anybody I encounter with a gun is a threat. So I'm going to shoot. So they already got the drop. Instead of saying, okay, the police is in here. Anybody with a gun, ain't nobody supposed to have a gun in here but the police. So the first person I see, the first person I'm going to put down. Now you're going to make them think extra harder, extra longer, and they don't got that kind of time to think. It's not how it works. They're going to walk around with red jerseys on like they in training camp on the football field. Like, it has to be some kind of identifier where clearly, when I see this, I already know that's a teacher. I already know off the muscle that's a teacher. No, that's not going to happen. What happens today, and we know today more than any other time in history, where it don't got worse, where you got teachers and students, they be fighting, all out rumble. So what happens when that student sucker punch a teacher and the teacher shoot him?
Ooh.
You act like that's not a possibility. That's not out of realm of possibility here. That's a real possibility on a daily basis. Well, go ahead and read that comment, Phil. I can't.
All right. It's a slippery slope, in my opinion. Kids are crazy and teachers aren't savvy enough on the spot for live action. We talk in practice and they have none.
That's the point.
And then, or what happens if the student grabs the gun?
No, that's what I was going to get to that point next. What happens when they pull the gun out and they get the wrestling over the gun? Or what happens when a student try to figure out the lockbox? I'm just saying, it's so much. You cannot introduce a weapon in the hands of somebody that's not. Listen, this is not a movie. You don't have enough reps. You don't have enough reps. This ain't something you can teach over a summer. How many videos that we see, especially because when we look at majority of these school shootings, the majority of them happen in small town America somewhere, right? 9 times out of 10, the police in that area, you only sign up to be a cop because it was a sweet beat for you. Majority of the force never had to fire their gun ever. So you get a school resource officer that's there, and then it pops off. Right? No, the teachers definitely have bad days. It's going to be a worse day when they shoot a student. But, the school resource officers that we've seen videos of this, right? We're talking about trained police officers. Shooting started, they cowering outside the building. They scared to go inside. Why? Because you outside, you can hear them shots go off from inside the building. So imagine what it sounds like in the building. And you never had no live action practice at this. Never. I don't care about them people talking about I've been hunting my whole life. That's one-way traffic. Ain't nobody, them animals can't shoot at you. You're stalking an animal. You're a predator. You're stalking an animal. You got them in your sight. There's no threat of being shot. It's way different when it's a threat of being shot. Don't talk to me about how much range time you got. I don't care nothing about your range time. If you ain't never heard a bullet whiz past your head, miss me with the conversation. It's not a movie. And I don't seen the best of the bust freeze up. I was seeing dudes run with guns on their waist. Because it's a different kind of time when the bullets is coming your way. So you expect the teacher to respond in an unnatural way for them. I was looking at a survey. The survey, 74% of the students said that was a bad idea. Over 90, and this is across the country, right? Another survey of thousands of teachers across the country. Survey asked them, it's a good idea to arm y'all. 95%, more than 95% said, no, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. How did we skip past all the other countermeasures? How many of them cases was people able to go shoot a school up because somebody left a door unlocked? How about let's do basic stuff first? Let's stop being reactive. Arming teachers is a reactive approach that's going to fail miserably. Let's be clear. How about the proactive approach? What basic is, how about y'all lock the door? Keep the doors locked. I think that's a viable solution. A lot of schools, you got to be buzzed in, right? Mm-hmm. These people who are going to shoot these schools up are carrying rifles. They got handguns with them. But majority of the stuff don't happen with rifles. You can see a rifle on a camera. You can't really hide a rifle, really. Or how about these people behind these desks actually do their job and start just buzzing people in? How about the school resource officers do their job, start walking around texting on their cell phone or sitting at a computer looking at Facebook? I'm telling you what I'm seeing for facts. How about you supplement the school resource officer force? Well, you got a whole lot of viable options here. You got a lot of viable options. There's so much retired or ex-military and police running around here where you can shift them up, have them take 4-hour shifts, pay them a nominal fee, $15, $20 an hour, something like that. I'm pretty sure some of them might even do it for free. But it hasn't been asked. It hasn't been used. It hasn't been approached. That way you can supplement the security forces that's already there. Because 2 cops at a middle school or high school, you can't cover but so much territory. No. If I'm at a school and I got enough, I could station somebody at every door, every entry point. I could have somebody armed at every entry point. Because you know the trick. You know there's tricks to the trade. In the mornings, first thing in the mornings is where the traffic is normally controlled. Everybody typically go through one door, right? Or 2 doors. If you got metal detectors, every school obviously need metal detectors, so regardless of where it's at. Obviously. Stop out there talking about, I don't want to turn my child's school into a prison. I'd rather have my child in school that's like a prison than my child at the cemetery. You got to pick a side and stay on it. You can't have both. Stop the nonsense. What it should be and what it is two different things. That's why I love my life, because I was never afforded that luxury to be naive. I had to look at reality and I had to adapt to what reality was. I couldn't say, it shouldn't be this bad. It should be this messed up. It is what it is. Adapt to it. Find your lane and stay in it. It's that simple. This ain't 1960, ain't 1970, ain't 1980, ain't even early 1990s or mid 1990s. It's 2023. People are mentally disturbed and they decide that they're going to pick the softest targets to go and cause the most mayhem at. Because it ain't no mass shootings where there's a bunch of guns at. It's only soft targets where you say you can't have guns at. So you could do something to where you can still keep that in place, but you can control who have guns, but you could put more guns, but put more guns in the hands of the people that make sense. People that actually trained to defend. People that's actually trained to clear a room, to clear a building. Teachers ain't trained for none of that. And it ain't something you could teach over a summer where they going to retain it.
He's saying that exactly what you're saying. What's cut off, he just says the average citizen has never shot a gun, let alone at someone.
No, and that's the point I made on the phone with Willie as well. What happened when they trying to shoot the perpetrator but hit a student or hit another teacher? Because that ain't about, they shooting with their eyes closed. They not really trained on the mechanics when it's wartime. Hey, Phil, play that video of the classroom training segment.
Oh, God. Okay, here we go.
Now it's JC's turn.
Questions?
No.
Go, go, go!
Get over in the corner. Over in the corner. Get down, get over in the corner. Get chairs in front of you.
I ain't never seen a hand stop a bullet.
Matrix.
No, but it's different. You could do all the simulation you want to do on a computer screen or walking through it, but when it was simulated live, though, this ain't no dummies. This ain't, I'm clearing a room, there's a dummy, or there's a target, shoot. Like, no. There's somebody with a firearm as well. They came in the room, spun behind the door. You seen the gun. That's the first thing she seen is the gun. She froze up. She put her hand up with the gun. She's shooting at the floor. He's shooting center mass. You know what I'm saying? Like, Reeves, I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's way too much money and resources, right? It's way too much money. How about y'all stop building all these freaking prisons and put money? Never mind. I mean, so you can't never say the money isn't there. You can never say the money isn't there. There's plenty of money. But arming the teacher should be the very last option. That's like apocalyptic times or something, like where it's all complete mayhem, where every citizen, man, woman, child need a firearm. But today, it's too many other viable options that we have at our disposal that can actually protect, that can actually know the steps and measures of what to do. Hey, Phil, play the
solution?
Yeah, but a solution.
It's that easy.
Lockdown. Now, I don't do nothing for the hallways, but it's been more than enough students that's been, somebody don't breach the classroom and been killed in the classroom, though. Too many cases of that. You can't convince me you can't bulletproof or armor a door. No, y'all could. Y'all choose not to. Like I said, y'all put the money everywhere else. The money should go on prevention. Arming teachers is not prevention. Put a sign. You know what I read a long time ago, right? There was a security. I think I went to a security conference or something. And a guy made a valid point. He said whether you got home security or not, at least the sign is a deterrent. Somebody automatically going to think that you have security, just if you had the sign in your lawn, right? They going to go look for the house that don't got no signs. I look at it the same way with schools, because I seen a couple of videos where they had the sign outside, armed personnel, shoot to kill is authorized, some fancy words they had, right? That's going to be a deterrent for some. It's not going to completely eliminate, but it will reduce the chances of it happening. It's all about reduction. It's hard to eliminate. But we can reduce it, though. Every week we got a school shooting somewhere in the country. Or a mass shooting. Like, well, we got mass shooting damn near every day in the country. It depends on how you want to define mass shooting. No, it makes sense.
She's calling her neighbor now.
No, but yeah, you drive snitching on your neighbor. Hey, Reed, you can't be snitching on your neighbor, dog. You can't be on here drive snitching, man. But no, it's a real life deterrent, though. When you see the sign, mainly you're going to say, oh, damn, they have some level of security. They have some level of protection that I got to account for. Let me go find a house where they don't have no sign. Now, granted, that sign could be up there. They don't have no security. It could be a house with no sign, but they got security. But percentage-wise, you're going to go with the house that doesn't have no sign. You're going to take your chances with that versus you're going to take a chance with the sign. It works the same way. No matter what we talking about. Today is the day of preying on soft targets. What possesses somebody to get pissed off about their life or how miserable their life is to say, I want to go kill a bunch of kids that never did nothing wrong to me? I don't have the slightest idea. Or I'm getting fired, so let me go kill everybody at the job. Like, I don't understand the logic, but that's the day we live in. So now we got to adapt to how do we try to put as many preventive measures in place. We got 1,000 options, better options. I seen one that, I don't know, depends on your opinion of it. It's almost like you going to, anybody ever went to visit somebody in prison before, how you got to go through the first door that get buzzed in, then you get stuck between the first door and second door before you got to get buzzed in again. I seen that. And it should be somebody standing right there that's lift your shirt up, spin around, like, you know what I mean? To make it make sense. They could clearly see if you got a rifle or not. Okay, lift your shirt up, spin around, lift your pants leg up. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see if you're armed or not. Then you're going to have parents saying that's too much like prison. But then you want your kid to come home or not. Now, as soon as your kid gets shot in school, it's going to be the school district ain't do nothing. They letting our kids get shot. No, this is an ongoing battle. I mean, even with basic gun rights is an ongoing battle. More states going to constitutional carry, which I don't really have a problem with constitutional carry, to be honest. I'm going to keep it a buck. I really don't have a problem with it because it's in your constitutional right to carry to have a firearm. I need double permission to have a firearm? If you're not a convicted felon, nothing permits you from having a firearm, you should be able to walk around with a firearm. It's in the Constitution. So I can't have pushback on that. But it should be more done to secure soft targets. It can be done. Especially schools. Schools should be number one. You want to say schools and then places of worship number two? I'm fine with that. But school should be number one. And putting that onus on the teacher should never be the option. You seen the teacher just freeze up. Look what the average one of them going to do. And then what happens? I'm going to shoot this teacher. Now I got 2 guns. Now I got 2 guns. And then I was talking to a guy. He wanted to be here tonight named Josh. He wanted to be here, ex-law enforcement, but he brought up a point I didn't even think about. I'm stuck on the training part. Like the training part is enough for me. You know what I'm saying? The logic of that or illogic of that. He was saying how the number of students that went back to the old high school or middle school or elementary school, what have you, and it actually shot up that, right? So saying how somebody wrote a book pretty much talking about the psychology of between the student and the teacher. Was saying the number of students that went back and actually committed these crimes showed that there would be a gap. There would be hard for the teacher to shoot their ex-student. Especially if it's a student that you mentored, you guided, like you will hesitate. A natural hesitation. Not to say nothing bad about them. It's a natural hesitation. They still looking at that person as an innocent kid. Or I remember when I was sitting down bringing this kid lunch because they ain't had nothing to eat. Or I was helping this kid with algebra, whatever the case may be. Right? There's a connection there. There is some form of relationship there that they want to go back to that's going to tap into emotionally. So all they need is a split second of pausing, of freezing, for that student to take advantage of that window. Which, if they already got in their mind that's what they came there to do, they probably don't care who they see. If they killing the kids, they damn sure don't care about killing some ex-teacher that helped me with algebra. Oh, in totality, it's just a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. There's a lot more options out there that should be utilized and explore first. Like, it's too many options. Like I said, repurpose money. Stop buying police ATVs, armored vehicles. They don't need no armored vehicles. But they need armored vehicles for. But they need armored transport vehicles for. They not in the Middle East. They not in North Korea. They not going to Russia. Like, what they need armored ATVs for? What we need another prison for? That costs $200, $250, $300 million. So you can't say the money is not there. The money is definitely there. So repurpose it, put it somewhere that makes sense. Security students, because they deserve to be secure. They deserve to go to, in a lot of places, students have a hard enough time just making it to school. They got to go through a battlefield just to get to school. Then you tell me I'm in a battlefield in school? You wonder why these kids got PTSD and they emotionally disturbed and unstable? This is basic common sense why they mentally unstable. I got to go through a war zone to get here. I'm in a war zone once I get in the building. I'm not safe. I got to travel that same war zone to get back home. And then I go to sleep at night hoping a bullet don't come through the window. Ain't no mystery why these kids is emotionally unstable. It's common sense. If one place that should be their safe haven should be school, the next place that should be a safe haven is a place of worship. And not having the damn Dalai Lama talking about suck on my tongue.
Oh.
I'm out of here. Real Rap Cain. I'll see y'all next week. Thought I was going to let that go. I wasn't going to let that go this week.
Oh, so bad.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to let that go.
See y'all later.